Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. We are doing our TBR Jar picks our prompts for my May reads because it's already May. What is that? If any NSYNC jokes come out, I apologize in advance because it is gonna be May. It's bound to happen. I am filming this a little early in the morning, so we do have our coffee on the side here, hopefully going to give us some energy. I do also have a cut in my lip, so if you see me do something weird with my mouth or sound off, I'm trying to avoid that because my teeth keep scraping it and it hurts really bad. So we're off to a great start this morning, but we're excited to get into these. Now, we're gonna do things a little differently because there's some books that I really need to get to before I kind of divulge into this, and like series that I want to finish before I start other series. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to pick 4 or 5 prompts, and I say that because I counted the other day. I have 43 prompts left. I just have been using so many, and I've also discarded a few, but I've also added more. I don't know how we've gotten to 43, but with 8 months left to go through this jar, I can do, I think it was like 5.3 a month is what you can pick. I obviously don't want to use up all my prompts before the end of the year. There are some in here that I will like re-put back in here if I've already used them, like the book of the month prompts I talked about. I added like my latest book of the month and just a book of the month book because I want to prioritize reading those as well, since I have that subscription and I don't read as many of them, but I have a handful here and I have a handful that aren't even on the TBR. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 4 to start out, and if none of those lead to the other books that I want to read that are on this higher priority list, then I will pick those 2 and only pick 4 prompts. But if a prompt comes up where I'm able to pick from these other categories, then I'll pick a 5th. These other 2 categories that I'm talking about are continuing series and my 26 for 2026. I want to prioritize those, especially the 26 for 2026. I finally got the Book Witch, which was the final one that I needed to buy. I just need to read these ones first. And I kind of wanted them to be a part of the goal. My goal this year was 80 books. I'm currently at 46. So we're doing very well in that aspect, and I want to prioritize these ones. And then I also want to prioritize continuing series, especially fantasy series, because I don't want to read too many fantasies and start to get them mixed up, and I just want to finish a series before I go into the next, especially with authors. Like, I'm currently reading the Shades of Magic trilogy. I don't want to go into the Vicious that trilogy until I finish Shades of Magic. I don't want to start reading Lee Bardugo until I finish some of these as well, because I think it was like 5 fantasy series is what I'm in the middle of. It's Mistborn, Shades of Magic, The Phantasma, and Enchantra is the next book in that one. The Stars Are Dying, the Nightfall trilogy by Chloe C. Penarenda, but that one I'm also soft DNFing right now. Don't know if we'll get back into that one this year. And then The Games Gods Play. So we're gonna do the prompts first. Like I said, 4. If I happen to get like one of the continuing series or the 26 for 2026, then I will pick those and pull another prompt. Okay, that was a lot of talking, so let's just get right into this. Need some energy first. So, without further ado, my favorite thing to do in the world. Oh no, I just dropped like 5 of them. Did I get them all? No, okay. Redo. I always like to try and show you guys the full stint so you know I'm not cheating. And what is this one? I can't read that. Oh no. A color in the title. Okay, I already know there's a 26 for 2026 book. We have Red City Marie Lu. That is starting another fantasy though. I'm just gonna peruse and see if any of them have a color in the title just to compare. I will most likely pick Red City, but I just want to give myself the chance to choose, especially since this is another fantasy book and I don't want to get into too many of them and get confused. So give me a hot sec. Okay, so there's one other book and it's Jade City. That is an even bigger fantasy book, and I don't I mean, I guess Jade, it could be considered the gem, but Jade is still a color. It's a green. Yeah, no, a color in the title. We're gonna do Marie Lu's Red City. Oh, I know I want to read this so bad. That's why I was on my 26 for 2026. So we're going to stick with this one, and that gives us the okay to pick a 5th prompt. this month as well. Yay! Okay, number 2. Is that 1 or 2? I can't tell. It's 1. Okay. I think that's the right way. I hope that's the right way. My most recent book of the month. Okay, actually, one of my most recent book of the months is The Book Witch. I got a handful of books on my last book of the month because I did skip a couple months and decided to grab a few because they had some like other books come out, because sometimes they give you the options and then they have like other releases that come out with it. And so for April, I actually spent those extra couple credits that I had and got 1 extra book. So for my April, I did pick Annie Knows Everything by Rachel Wood. So I have that one. The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. The Wishing Game and The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. But The Book Witch is on my 26 for 2026. So I think I have to pick this one because it's like, it's the rules, right? And these ones are, this is like actually on my TBR. These other ones are just kind of like the extra ones that I like to grab, of ones that I'm interested in but not want to read right away. So I think I have to pick this one. Not that I have to, I'm going to. I'm excited for this one. And it's a smaller book, which I'm enjoying. Kind of like these quicker reads, but this one should be good. And this one, if I remember correctly, our main character... Oh, there's a little kitty on the book. If I remember correctly, she has the ability to hop in and out of books and like stories, but like the rules are obviously like you can't change the stories, you can't tell characters things that are gonna happen because you just can't. That's not allowed. You're gonna change the story. But then I believe her grandfather was missing. I'm trying to do this off of memory because I do kind of want to go into this blind. One of her favorite novels, the characters in there, I think, ends up like helping her. I can't remember if he's like a detective or anything, but I don't know. I'm not 100% positive. I don't want to read the thing. I like going into books blind, but that's what we're gonna pick for our most recent book of the month. And this is what I'm saying about how I have all these prompts. Normally I don't put them back in. I put them in my reading journal. This one I don't know if I'll put this one back in or if I'll just rewrite. Get a piece of paper and rewrite it, put it back in, but because this is a prompt that can easily be redone for this month, for May. Most recent book of the month, The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. So to go into prompt number 3. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's a long one. Oh, book that starts with B. Okay, give me a hot second. Okay, so we have 4 books that came up. We have The Witch by Laura Talassi. This is a fantasy witches, and we follow, what's her name? Celine. And she wants to be accepted into the Henbane Coven, which is an academy for young witches. We kind of have, I think, an academy setting, but it's a little different because to get into this academy, you have to go on this like quest essentially, and you like connect with your powers. And one thing that's different about her is when she uses her powers, she actually loses her memories. And I guess when she goes on this quest, she awakens this dark creature thing that's been dead for years, or captured for years. It like releases him and she goes to this academy because she got into it. He like comes hunting for her. It seems like a lot and it seems really good. We love witches, we love academy settings. It is another fantasy thing, so I don't know if I'm exactly ready for that because like I said, I'm already starting Marilou's Red City. We're already in so many, so maybe it's okay because it's witches. It's a little bit different. We also have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Oh, I almost dropped that. I'll be 100% honest, I don't know exactly what this is about. I believe it's young adult though, so maybe it will be an easier read. Maybe. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. And it's a trilogy. I believe I have book 2. Yeah, I have Foxglove, but I don't have book 3. So maybe. Maybe. I have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. I just don't. I don't know if... if this is something I can read yet. I don't know. We'll decide in a minute because I have one more. This is Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other by Bethany Turner. Okay, so the back says she's a Sunny morning show host. He's a cynical ex-reporter. They're destined to hate each other, aren't they? We have Bryn, who is a TV show like morning host. She's sunny. She's got positive attitude. She's great. And apparently there's a slip up where it exposes her snarky side to the world. She must get fired because it says she goes back to her hometown of Adeline Springs, Colorado. So Colorado, yay. And then Sebastian is a journalist who like disappeared. He was covering major events in the world and just disappeared. And now he has to chauffeur her around Adeline Springs. So that almost seems like a fun one. I do have 2 fantasies so far. So I think that's kind of why I'm wanting to put these 2 back. Just because... Is this one a fantasy? Or is it not? Wait, there's murder in this one? Okay, yeah, it says a gothic fantasy romance. Okay, God, that actually sounds really good. I think I just need to put these 2 away right now just because I already have 2. I'm most likely picking up a 3rd for my continuing series, so I think we need to hold off. And I just don't think I'm ready for Beartown yet. I really want to read this book. It is starting to get warm outside, and we're talking about hockey in the cold, so maybe not this right away. And this one just seems like a standard romance, and like I said, I already have 2 fantasies. I need a romance. Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other for a book that starts with B. I'm thinking that I should probably pick a continuing series read now because I did already pick a 26 for 2026, giving myself the option to get a 5th prompt. So I think I'm going to do that. So if I had to choose between... what was it? It would be Enchantra, A Gathering of Shadows, The Things Gods Break, and The Well of Ascension. I think The Things Gods Break is going to go away. I don't think I'm ready for The Well of Ascension. So that leaves A Gathering of Shadows and Enchantra. And if I had to pick, I think I'm more drawn to Enchantra right now because I did really love Phantasma, and I've heard this one is even better, which is I'm like, okay, how? So I'm going to pick Enchantra for my continuing series option that I'm giving myself. I really want to read The Gathering of Shadows. I have a feeling that if I get through these books, because that'll be 6 books, I could easily pick those up because I've easily been reading 8 to 10 books a month. And that's insane for me. There's still a good option that those will get picked up. So with that decided, we have 2 more. Oh gosh. We have 2 more prompts to pick. So let's get into those. There's this guy. Unfold. Is that the right way? I feel like that's not the right way. Is that upside down? I think that's upside down. Sprayed edges. Ooh, okay. I got a lot of options. So give me a minute. Okay, I need to change the battery real quick. So I'm gonna do that and pull what I'm feeling because I definitely have a lot of sprayed edges. Should we just go through all of them? Or is that too much? I don't know. We'll decide. I gotta change my battery. Okay, so as expected, we have a lot of sprayed edges. Not as many as I thought I would. Let's go through all of them real quick. And then we can admire them and see them all and everything. And while I was doing this, I actually realized I have one more fantasy series that I'm in the middle of because book 2 I haven't read yet, and that's Eternal Ruin by Tika Skirma. And we have this sprayed edge. Love is the first enemy, death is the second. So I did remember there is a 3rd book coming out for this one. And again, I'd probably want to read book 2 and then read book 3. I don't even know if book 3 has a release date. It didn't show me in Kindle. Oh, it just says November 2026. So that's later this year. So this one I'm going to put back because I would probably want to read book 3 right after. I have Something Wicked by Fallon Ballard. She has easily become one of my favorite authors. I've only read 3 of her books. And this I think is her first fantasy. God, this actually could make my top list. Okay, I'm gonna make 2 piles. Ones I'm not gonna get into, and then the ones that are gonna make the qualifying round for this. But this one has a little sword and some skulls, so we're gonna put that to the side. I had 3 in my 26 for 2026, but I think I'm going to skip them for right now because, again, they're all fantasy. The Wolf King, and then Immortal Consequences has one, and We Who Will Die has some roses. Okay, Twilight does have some sprayed here, but this one I've discussed I'm going to wait until fall because Twilight just seems like a fall book. We have Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. We just have the teal here. Kate Golden, Half City. We have this lovely sprayed edge. We have Exquisite Ruin by Adrian May. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is really hard. Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Caggiano. It is a completed trilogy, but I only have book 1 and I don't feel like buying more books, so that's gonna go back for right now. We have Rings of Fate, Melissa de la Cruz. That one's fine, but that's gonna go back. Ooh, we do have Caraval. It does have the red sprayed edges. The only reason I'm going to put this in a maybe is because I think you don't have to, but I think it's semi-recommended to read this series before you read Once Upon a Broken Heart. And Once Upon a Broken Heart is on my 26 for 2026. So that's going to go in the maybe pile. We have Until the World Falls Down by Jordan Lind. Some fun sprayed edge there. We have the 9-month Contract by Amy Davis. I love the checkered. And then on the top, so I think they're goats. Yeah, goats. We have Pucked Up Helena Hunting. We've got, is it the couple on the side? Yeah. And then A Secret in the Garden by Janine O'Reilly. That one's fun. And then all of these up here. We have A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. The last one by Rachel Housel Hall. Tourist Season, Bryn Weaver. The Neverlist, Jade Presley. And probably one of my favorites, Things Gods Break. These ones are so cool. I'm wondering what color the third one is. Do we know the color of it yet? Games God, The Wrath Gods Reap. Do we have a color? Ooh, it's gonna be purple. That one's so pretty. When does it come out? November 17th. Wow, that's a while. That one's really pretty though. Okay, so I think I narrowed it down to 5. We have Caraval, Stephanie Garber. Fallon Ballard, Something Wicked. Exquisite Ruin, Adrian May. Until the World Falls Down, Jordan Lind. And A Secret in the Garden by Janine O'Reilly. I think Exquisite Ruin is going to go back. I want to read it, but I need to hold off. I think Caraval is going to go back as well. Okay, so Until the World Falls Down. I think I almost picked this in my February, but it's Labyrinth meets Beauty and the Beast. That sounds amazing. It's a really thick book though. Like, how many pages is this? 527 pages. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think I kind of remember this. A kingdom gets taken over, and to like find their new ruler, they have to do trials instead of like the family line. And I believe he was a part of the family line. I don't know who she is. Oh. It says Callum, the son of a recently dethroned king, is determined to be in the running, but coming to terms with what patricide will require the help of Lady Catherine, a gifted courtesan at La Puissance, Avon is the country, premier sex club. I'm sorry, what? I do enjoy her writing because I've only read romance by her and they've been really good. Like really, really good. Like they've all been like 4-star and above. But I think I'm going to skip this one right now. That just seems like a lot to take on. I don't feel like it. And also I am more drawn towards these two. Okay, so she's a botanist who works for an observatory or a conservatory. There is a manor that has one person who lives in it, and she's going out there to ask for a donation because she wants her conservatory to stay open. He agrees on one chilling condition: restore his conservatory alone with no help and no leaving. And it says the manor is not empty, so she has to dig around and see what's going on in there. Okay, I think on sheer size alone, I'm gonna go with The Secret in the Garden. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I've been wanting to read both these for a while. But I think this one is calling to my heart a little more. So, sprayed edges, we're doing A Secret in the Garden. Okay. Final one. Let's see what we pick. This one. Oops, I dropped one. Okay. Is that the right way? I can't see. A hardcover. Okay, that does not narrow it down at all, but I can read whatever I want. I'm going to narrow it down to 3 minimum of what I want to read, and then we'll go over them. Okay, I think I narrowed it down to a good selection. I thought I had more hardcovers. I mainly just have these 5 right here. Twilight and Sword Heart are on the other side, and then a handful of book of the month here. So I actually don't have that many hardcovers, but what I narrowed it down to was Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Cafe, or Cat Shelter. I always think it's cafe for some reason. By Heather Fawcett. I mean, come on, cats. And then I have Violet Thistlethwaite Is Not a Villain Anymore by Emily Krempholtz. This one I've been wanting to read for a while. And then I have How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh. This is about writers. Okay, I don't know what this thing is. I think a lot of books that have been recently coming out. I feel like we tend to see trends, and I feel like a lot of authors are writing about either books or people writing books. I just read 2 this last month. Was it this month? 3 books actually that involved some sort of writer, whether it was for books or for like newspaper articles and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of this going on. So when I accidentally read 3 books about some sort of writer, they actually surprisingly were different. They just went in different routes, so that was really nice. But I think right now that I think about it, I'm gonna put this one away because I have just read too many of those and I don't want to compare it to something right away. So she's gonna go away. So we have Violet Thistlethwaite and Agnes Aubert. So we have someone who isn't a villain, because I think she was like an assistant to one. Yeah, I think she had worked with some villain, a dark sorcerer, and she just wants to be on her own and ends up being somewhere where she starts a garden where she meets somebody else. And this cover is just so pretty. And then we have Agnes Aubert, who she has a cat shelter. And she ends up... So the only person who will take him is a mysterious man called Havelock, who's the world's most infamous magician. So we have someone who left the evil side to someone who's accidentally going to get drawn into it. And this is on my 26 for 2026. How many do I have? So I've got 2 on here. So how many do I have left? Okay, I have 11 left to read. Wow, I've done pretty good for myself. Can I do both? Is it weird that I want to do both? Oh my god, this is so hard. Okay, I think I need to focus on my 26 for 2026. So we're going to choose Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I know I will pick up Violet Thistlethwaite sometime soon because, like, whenever I finish my TBR list, I tend to, like, just stare at everything and I go, like, what am I feeling? And that is usually near the top. I know that one will get chosen, so I think I should give the opportunity for a prompt to be given to another book, especially 26 for 2026. And 3 of my books of the 6 are on that list, so we're doing good this month. This was a good decision because I had fully thought about dedicating a whole monthly TBR to just my 26 for 2026, but sometimes I don't feel like picking them up, especially when it's like Heartless Hunter has a second book, so that's 2. Dagger in the Flame is gonna have 3 books and I only have 2 of them. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue just seems like a lot to take on. 5 of the other books are starters to fantasies or just big books in general. Like The Ritual, that has, what, 5 or 6 other books and they're all thick. Once Upon a Broken Heart, I haven't read Caraval yet. And I'm still trying to decide if I want to read that one first. You Again and The Favorites, I think, are standalones. So those ones could definitely be picked up at any time. But just looking at this list by itself is very daunting. It's not something I think I can tackle in a month. My other idea for a TBR was doing a continuing series reads where I would have done Enchantra. I would have picked Gathering a Shadow, Conjuring of Light, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. And that just also seems like a lot to take on for a month and is just a lot of heavy reading. I like this idea of breaking it down towards picking just a couple and making sure I read those before I pick anything else up. That was a lot. So let's review what we picked. We had, if I can grab it, A Color in the Title, Red City by Marie Lu. We had my most recent book of the month, which is The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. A book that starts with B. Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other by Bethany Turner. Sprayed Edges, which is probably the hardest decision I've ever made. A Secret in the Garden by Janine O'Reilly. And then a hardcover, which was Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter. And then my pick for my continuing series option is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This feels really good. This feels like a good month. We got some options. We got some different stuff going on. Like I said, I tend to read like 8 to 10 books a month. I think at least 8. I think every month I've read almost 10 if I remember correctly. This is 6 books. We can get some more in. Yay. Okay, but with those all picked, we are at the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. If you don't know what to comment, let me know what you plan on reading in May, and I will see you on the next one.